Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, I hope you all are doing well, and I welcome you all the 9th standard. I congratulate to all the students who passed 8th standard and promoted to 9th standard. So welcome to the standard 9th for the academic year 2020-21. Dear students, inshallah I will teach you the subject of science part 2. So our today's video lecture is an introduction to the subject of science for standard 9th. Up till now, the subject of science which you had studied had one textbook. You also have one textbook again for the year 9th standard, but this textbook is divided into two parts. Part 1 called as Science 1, Part 2 called as Science 2. So today I will make you understand the difference between them, and we'll also discuss the pattern of this subject for standard 9th and what you have to do for this academic year. What changes have been taken place as per the revised syllabus for standard 9th and standard 10th. If you understand 9th about this change of syllabus which had taken place last year and the pattern, you'll also understand the same thing is for 10th as well. So if you look at the pattern, paper pattern, there are total 4 major questions which will be asked to you in Science 1 question paper as well as in Science 2 question paper. So the difference is, in Science 1, the chapters which are divided, they are of physics and chemistry. Whereas in Science 2, the chapters are of biology and environmental studies. So this is how both the part Science 1 and Science 2 are divided. But you have only one textbook in 9th standard. Keep this in mind. Whereas when you will go in 10th standard next year, inshallah, you will have 2 different textbooks. One for Science 1 and the other for Science 2. But in 9th standard, you have only one textbook. And in this one textbook, both the parts, Science 1 as well as Science 2, are given. So for Science 1, just I said you'll have chapters of physics and chemistry, numerical based chapters. Okay, you have to be very perfect in the numericals. Okay, basic mathematics is required in that. Whereas if you talk about Science 2, because I'm going to teach you Science 2, so my main focus will be on Science 2 part. So Science 2 consists of, as I said the chapters of biology and environmental studies. So if we talk about the paper format of Science 2, as far as your semester exam, term exams are concerned, first term exams and second term exam, 40 marks question paper will be of Science 2. Similarly, 40 mark question paper will be of Science 1. So that makes 40 plus 40, 80. And then remaining 20 marks will be of practical, science practical examination. I will talk about it later on. So for Science 2, as I said 40 mark question paper will be asked in term exam. Okay, in both the term exam. So in this 40 marks, question number 1, as I said there are 4 major questions which will be asked to you in both Science 1 as well as Science 2. So question number 1, A and B. Question number 1, A, and question number 1B. Both are of 5 marks. So question number 1A, let us talk about question number 1A. This is called as multiple choice question. You will be given statement and four options. Out of those four options, one will be the correct one. So likewise, 5 such multiple choice questions will be asked to you in question number 1A. Okay, it's called as multiple choice question. And after every question, 4 options are given to you. You have to write the correct one. You will get 1 mark if you give the correct answer. So such 5 questions will be asked to you. And these questions will be again from your textbook, whatever we're going to teach you from the textbook. So thorough reading of the textbook is required for question number 1A. Now let us come to question number 1B. Question number 1B will be a mixture of questions like objective type questions. It can be match the pair, odd man out, okay, true or false, name the following, or any diagram. They will ask you the name of the diagram. Okay, simple questions will be there. Okay, but in this there will be no filling the blanks. Except filling the blanks, any question, objective type questions can become like a correlation, odd man out. Again, there will be 5 such questions, 1 mark for each. Okay, so question number 1A for 5 marks, question number 1B for 5 marks. That makes total 10 marks. Now let us come to question number 2, major question number 2, which have again 2 sub questions in it. Question number 2A and 2B. So question number 2A is basically on scientific reason. You are supposed to write the answers on like give scientific reason, like that type of questions will be there, and you're supposed to write answer scientifically. So such 3 questions will be asked to you in question number 2A, and out of these 3 questions you are supposed to answer any 2. Okay, 2 mark each, so 2 2s are 4. Now let us come to question number 2B. Okay, you are supposed to answer, there would be 5 such questions. You are supposed to answer any 3. 5 questions will be asked to you in question number 2B, and you are supposed to answer any 3. 2 marks each again, so that makes 3 2s are 6. So question number 2B will be also a mixture of question. Okay, it will be a mixture of questions. It can be like distinguish, draw the diagram, or label the diagram. Diagram will be given to you. You are supposed to label it. Okay, and any questions like for 2 marks. So this is how question number 2 will be. So here, if you see question number 2A for 4 marks, question number 2B for 6, so 4 plus 6 makes 10. So overall question number 2 is for 10 marks. Now if we come to question number 3, again it's a very important question. In this question number 3, total 8 questions will be asked to you. And out of this total 8 questions, you are supposed to answer any 5. Any 5. So if you answer any 5, you will get 15 marks. It means each question is for 3 marks. So 3 5s are 15. So 15 marks. Major part of the question paper is given on question number 3. We get 15 marks if you attempt 5 correct answer from question number 3. Very important. And then if we come to question number 4, okay, it's a answer in detail. You are supposed to answer in detail. 2 questions will be asked to you. After these 2 questions, you are supposed to answer any one. So each stand for 5 marks. Okay. So this is how the whole question paper is divided into 4 major questions. Question number 1A, I'm repeating it again. Question number 1A for 5 marks. Question number 1B for 5 marks. Question number 2A for 4 marks. Question number 2B for 6 marks. And question number 3 for 15 marks. And question number 4 for 5 marks. So that all makes total to 40. Similarly, this is the same pattern for question Science 1 as well. But the thing is, as I said to you, Science 1 have physics and chemistry chapters, whereas in Science 2 it's basically chapters on biology and environmental studies. So this was about paper pattern. You'll also have unit test. Okay, so in unit test, the questions of Science 1 and Science 2 are asked together. Have a simple single question paper. Both the questions of Science 1 and Science 2, they come together in science question paper, and it is for 20 marks. That we will let you know when as soon as the school will reopen. But the major important thing for you was to understand the paper pattern of term examination. Okay, first term and second term examination. Now let us come to practical. As I said, you will have 20 marks practical exam after the end of every term. Okay, you will have practical examination after the first term gets over. Similarly, you will have practical exam after the end of second term. So this 20 marks practical, how the distribution of this 20 mark is. In this, very important for you is 4 marks for project. Okay, in the first term, you are supposed to plan the project. Okay, you are supposed to select the topic and let us know. Then what are your planning? Let us know. Okay, you will get 4 marks for this. And in the second term, that same project which you have planned to do, you are going to execute it. Okay, you are going to write it in a notebook, project book. Okay, and when you will write it and you will show it to us, you will get our signature, you will get 4 marks again. Okay, so 4 marks for project. Okay, then comes 4 marks for journal. You will get journal. Okay, Maharashtra State Board project book. Okay, come journal. Okay, only that is to be prepared, and that journal, all the activity of the journal of the experiment you are supposed to write in that journal. You will get 4 marks for that. Okay, so 4 marks for project, 4 marks for journal. Okay, now it is 8, right? Now remain 12 marks. So this 12 marks is distributed like 6 for science 1 and 6 for science 2. So experiment which we will conduct in the lab, in the laboratory, science laboratory, okay, those experiments will be asked you in practical examination, one for science 1 and one of science 2. So if you do it correctly, systematically, you will get 12 marks for doing practicals, experiment. So 12 marks for experiment, 4 marks for journal, 4 marks for project. So that makes total 20. So this is how 20 marks of practicals can be easily obtained if you follow our instruction. Okay, so like this way your whole year, okay, this I have talked about one term, the same thing carries for the next term as well. Okay, so if you see total 100 marks you will be of science in first term, similarly 100 marks for science in second term, that's make total 200, and out of this 200 what marks you achieve will take the average of it, and then your final report card will be prepared for every subject. Okay, so I hope you have understood about the distribution of marks in this video lecture, if inshallah in the next lecture we'll talk about science 2. Okay, the chapter which we are going to start in science 2 will be classification of plants. I hope you have textbook. If you don't have, take it from the seniors or the one who were 9th standard last year. So take it from them or any of your relatives. You can download it from the eBalbharati website. Okay, we have this website. You can download it from there, and then you refer the textbook. We'll start with the chapter called classification of plants. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.